campfire gone cold. A watch stopped at exactly 20:45. Across 5 cases spanning 3 decades, witnesses report the same aftermath: missing time, strange marks, dead electronics. Everyone focuses on the sighting. No one asks what happens after. On November 14, 2004, Commander David Fravers' FA-18 Hornet closed in on an object off the coast of Southern California. In the Navy's own radar logs, there is a 3-minute window where the object and the jet both vanish from the Princeton's SPY-1 system. Aviators recall a moment of confusion, no alarms, just blank screens, and a sense that something didn't add up. The official debrief transcript notes the radar blackout, but offers no explanation. No one can say what happened in those minutes, only that the data gap is real and the event is preserved in the classified files the Navy refuses to release. Nearly 30 years earlier, in the Maine wilderness, 4 men paddling the Allagash River reported a different kind of gap. Jim McClure and his friends were night fishing when a beam of light swept over their canoe. Their next memory, standing on shore. The campfire burned to ash, watches stopped, and half an hour missing from their recollections. Later, a clinic note records the group's confusion and McClure's insistence that 30 minutes simply vanished. No aircraft, no radio, just silence and a blank in the timeline. These 2 cases, separated by decades and continents, share a pattern: time unaccounted for, instruments lost, and official records that raise more questions than answers. In Ruwa, Zimbabwe, a cluster of children gathered around Dr. Harvey Mole, sleeves rolled up, revealing arms marked with faint reddish lines. The Ariel School incident in 1994 left behind no official medical files, but photographs archived by researchers show these odd skin patterns, swollen, raised, and unexplained. Interviews captured the children's confusion, with some describing a burning sensation that faded by nightfall. No lab results, no hospital charts, just a handful of images and a surge of whispered stories spreading through the community. 3 years later and half a world away, the Phoenix Lights event brought a different kind of evidence. Among the thousands who watched the silent formation drift over Arizona, one witness, Joe R., noticed his wristwatch had stopped. The time frozen at 8:45 p.m., matching the moment the lights vanished. He wasn't alone. Phoenix 911 logs recorded a spike in calls, hundreds reporting electronics flickering, phones dropping signal, and clocks resetting themselves. The Arizona Republic later published a photograph of Joe's watch, its hands unmoving as if time itself had paused. No mechanical fault was found when the watch was examined days later. These cases add new layers to the symptom checklist: strange marks with no clear cause, and technology that falters at the edge of the unexplained. The stories echo across decades, from children's arms in rural Africa to a citywide blackout in the American Southwest. Each detail sharpens the mystery: injuries that leave no trace in medical records, and devices that fail in perfect synchrony with the unknown. Chicago's O'Hare International Airport, November 2006. As air traffic controllers tracked routine departures, a metallic disc hovered above Gate C-17. United Airlines crew on the tarmac watched in silence as the object remained fixed in the sky. The Federal Aviation Administration's internal report, labeled TR-10, later documented a 12-second window where secondary radar returns vanished from the screen. No echo, no blip, just a gap in the data that lined up with the visual sighting. There was no weather event, no equipment alert, nothing to explain why the radar image disappeared. Within 2 days, a team from the University of Chicago's Atmospheric Sciences lab arrived with portable gamma detectors. Their survey, posted on an open-access university repository, recorded a localized spike, 0.8 microsieverts per hour, roughly 3 times the airport's normal background. The reading was logged near the spot where witnesses described the disk. No other source of ionizing radiation was identified, and the full raw dataset remains unreleased. The anomaly stands out: a measured radiation trace, a radar loss, and a witness list that includes pilots, ground staff, and scientists, each with their own unanswered questions. Defense analysts point to a different explanation: classified hardware and next-generation drones. The Pentagon's Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, or AATIP, compiled a list of technologies that could mimic some of the reported effects. Among them, plasma cloaking systems, which use ionized gas to scramble radar and block detection. Declassified white papers describe how these plasma fields can also disrupt nearby electronics, causing navigation failures and instrument blackouts. An anonymous aerospace engineer describes recent tests with stealth drones equipped with directed energy emitters that can temporarily blind radar and jam communications. In 2025, reports surfaced of unmanned aerial vehicles operating over test ranges, using electromagnetic pulses to disable sensors for brief windows, just long enough for the drone to vanish from screens. The Wyoming drone report details how these platforms can leave no physical trace, but still trigger device malfunctions and unexplained data gaps. For some, the answer lies not in the extraordinary, but in technology kept just out of public view. Dr. Elena Kovacs, a clinical psychologist, studies the patterns that emerge in the minds of those who report missing time after a close encounter. Her meta-analysis of trauma cases finds that dissociative gaps, periods ranging from 2 to 4 minutes, often follow extreme stress or sensory overload. These mental lapses, she argues, could explain why so many witnesses recall blank spaces in their timeline, even when no physical injury is present. Yet, for some, the explanation reaches beyond the mind. Astrophysicist Professor Mira Al-Sadi points to NASA's UAP brief, which catalogs non-thermal emissions and electromagnetic pulses as possible byproducts of advanced propulsion, whether human or not. She notes that, in the absence of a known terrestrial source, these bursts could account for both device failures and the subtle neurological symptoms described by pilots and civilians alike. The divide remains: memory science on one side, the possibility of off-world technology on the other. Inside the vaults of government agencies, the trail of evidence often stops at a blacked-out page. A Freedom of Information Act request to the Office of Naval Intelligence returned more than 30 pages of redactions, lines, and paragraphs vanished. The reason given: release would cause exceptionally grave damage to national security. Congressional analysts, speaking on condition of anonymity, describe a system built on information silos. Data on health effects, radar anomalies, and environmental traces are scattered across departments, each sealed behind layers of clearance. The New York Times investigation into the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program found entire sections of the Pentagon's Health Effects Report removed before public release. Even recent AOIMSG memos show entire paragraphs struck out, especially where medical findings are discussed. The result is a public record filled with gaps, key details withheld, the raw files locked away. For every unexplained symptom or device failure, there is a corresponding absence in the official archive, leaving investigators to wonder what is being protected and why. Official reports confirm unexplained effects linger long after the lights vanish. Scientific answers remain elusive. If these witnesses are telling the truth, what really happened after the light appeared